do we celebrate a date, December 25th? No, we don't celebrate a date, we celebrate an event. However, there's good indication that Jesus Christ was born in December. I know many people reject that. I want you to put your comments. But if you'll look and do your homework, you'll study the book of Luke chapter 1, you find there's a priest by the name of Zechariah. He's married to a lady named Elizabeth. They're both old in age. They're barren. They have no children. The angel comes to Zechariah and tells him that he's going to have a baby. And he gives him a sign. He'll not be able to talk until his son, who would be named John the Baptist, no greater than John, the forerunner of our Lord Jesus, would come into the world. Now keep in mind, Zechariah's in the temple, and most believe, and I personally do, around the time serving at the Feast of Tabernacles, which is always in the fall. Now, if you read the book of Luke, you find out in the book of Luke, chapter 1, that after he finishes his duty, he goes after the angel said, your wife is going to have a baby. And here I pick up in verse 23. It came to pass that as soon as his days of ministrations were accomplished, speaking of Zechariah, he departed to his own house. And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived, hid herself 5 months, saying, thus the Lord dealt with me in the days wherein he looked upon me to take away my reproach among men. And then verse 26 reads, and then on the 6th month, the angel Gabriel comes to Mary. All right, doesn't take a mathematician or a rocket scientist to figure out. The fall, September, 6 months from that time, Elizabeth goes and was united with Mary. So October, November, December, January, February, March. You're looking at the spring when Elizabeth meets up with Mary. And Mary conceives, and Mary has this child. Now, 9 months of pregnancy, if you calculate that up, then you come from March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now, I know there are people that say Jesus was born in the summer and that these shepherds couldn't be out in their field at the winter time, but that is not correct. You've got to understand, these shepherds were professionals. This was their duty. This was not just a bunch of teenagers. These were priestly shepherds who their job was to watch over the flock by night, and they knew that they were responsible for providing the temple with a sacrificial lamb. And that's where the tower of the flock comes in. So the date, Herod was king and died in, I think it was 4 BC. So we know that Jesus Christ was born probably around 4 or 5 BC. The date, so I know that there's pagan holidays that were celebrated in December and even to that day. But there's good indication the Lord is precise on some things, and I don't worship a date, I worship a living God.